In profile, it's so low and aggressive with these really spectacular telephone dial style wheels inspired by the original car. Where the wheels on the OG car were like 14 inches, these are massive, offset too. 20 inches on the front, 21s at the rear. And then of course we have a Lamborghini staple, the Scissor doors. And if that's not plague, I really don't know what is. Then this enormous NACA style duct feeding air into that 6.5 litre V12, and a smaller set of air scoops just above that, which again, inspired by the original Countach. Now, it's a bit smaller and a bit less silly, and speaking of a bit less silly, it doesn't have a permanent rear wing. But then again, neither did the original LP400, so I can forgive that, even though it's not quite giving me plague vibes. What is giving me plague vibes though, is this back end. It's absolutely sensational and looks a bit like the Lamborghini Cyan hypercar, especially with these 6 individual hexagons for brake lights, this enormous protruding prolapse of a rear diffuser with the integrated quad exhausts, the inverted wedge shape and the massive 355 section tires. It's glorious to look at. Is it just an Aventador with a body kit? Is it worth 2.5 million euros? Only you can be the judge, but for me, forget plague, this is a pandemic on wheels. That being said, the interior perhaps doesn't quite live up to the 2.4 million euro price tag, mainly on the basis that it's very reminiscent of the Aventadors. The center stack contains the same button layout, although the car features the updated infotainment system with a vertical display lifted from the Hurricane. It even has a special button marked Stile, Italian for style, which reminds those on board of the Countach design philosophy. And there are other nice touches too. The geometric stitching on the leather seats and dashboard reference the square motif on the 70s original, plus there are 3D printed vents. Odd, given how inexpensive a technique that is. More impressive is the roof, which is inspired by the periscopio design of the original. That car's limited rear visibility required engineers to create a hollowed out roof section giving line of sight to the rear view mirror. It's not strictly necessary here, but the shape is a clever nod to the past. The photochromatic glass, which switches from translucent to opaque at the touch of a button, is a welcome addition in the present. That price tag is also down to the fact that it uses a very exotic powertrain. Again, 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 just behind me, which makes 785 horsepower, and an E-motor, which makes an additional 34 horsepower. Not crazy amounts coming from the electric side, but the interesting thing isn't the motor, it's where the power comes from.